It's Blab's week, so watch her post. Raise your glass and give a toast. She may fail, and that's okay. Don't forget that Den Best. It's Blab's week, so watch her host. She's so good, she'll surely boast. It's Blab's week and time to start. It's time to go right now, Blabs. Let's go right now. Blabs?
Look at me. I'm the captain now.
Hi, guys. I have been triggered all morning long, and there's so much bullshit to talk about. But first, let me just get a little quick rant. If you're insane, please don't go on the internet to make me insane. That's all I have to ask. That is it. That's my one request. That's it. Help me.
I'll try. I'm
Okay.
also insane. I'm insane too. I guess I gotta get off the internet.
Oh my god, dude. You don't my morning has been these random ass J.K. Rowling haters in my DMs on my Instagram, which on my Instagram, I'm just a huge nerd. I just show off my collection and stuff like that. I don't even talk J.K. Rowling or politics or anything, and they find me anyway. And I'm like, how?
She has Harry Potter in her background. Quick, get her. That's all they do.
Oh my god. All right. Hi, James.
Arrest her. We need to arrest Blabs right now. Hi, everybody. I'm so excited to be part of Total Blabs Takeover Week. We're taking over this town. How's it going, chat? It is over.
And we also got little baby True Pup. How you doing?
A surprise third appearance to
Ta-da.
my surprise. Yeah, always up for side scrollers, so thank you for having me.
Yes, and we will have Extrazero in later. He is doing something with the pool boy. I don't really know. He'll tell you when he gets here, but yeah. Hello.
Late and gay.
Pool boy.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I was his pool boy extra.
Most
You
literal
cheating on
latent
me?
gay thing.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so here's the context of this whole Harry Potter J.K. Rowling thing. I don't even understand why this is happening. Some random person on Instagram whose entire bio is about being queer and he, him, they, them, which I don't understand how you can be both, but whatever. And he was like, J.K. Rowling spouting Holocaust denial stuff. And I'm like, no, she's not. Sit down. And I screen grabbed it, and I went to his account, and everything is public, right? All of his stories, everything. So I screen grabbed everything, and I put it on Twitter, and some Looney Tune was like, you're doxing him. I'm like, how? It's all public. You can just go and see. Oh, but that's on Instagram. If you're bringing it to Twitter, you're doxing someone. I'm like, how? If you go and Google the account, you will find him. So by your theory, Google is doxing. I'm sorry about your mental disorder. And this guy spurred out on me saying, how dare you just insult my mental disorder? And then he started saying that Harry Potter was for children and that the entire cast of Harry Potter hates me. And I'm like, bro, you see who's at Universal Studios, right? I mean, who's buying everything, right? Adults.
We just wanted to be wizards. We just wanted to be silly little wizards with our silly little wands in Britain. Like True Pop over here. We just wanted to be lovely British lads, and no, they won't let us. They won't let us.
And I need a vacation. Craig needs to send me to the beach. Stat.
Oh my god. Blabs, you're killing it this week. I love it. Don't worry. No vacations.
Okay, we're fine. Anyway, I'm sorry about the screaming. Mike, earphones alerts. Okay, anyway.
You brought us on screaming.
Yeah, it's going to be a headphone warning the entire stream.
By the way, chat, do tell me how my mic is sounding. I play with the settings a little bit because some shit's going on with StreamYards. But, we have a StreamYards affiliate link, so go check out StreamYards if you're going to start a podcast. Okay, moving on. Someone saying Blabs is losing it. I love it. I've lost it, guys. I woke up traumatized today. Anyway, let's do Shenanigans. Hi, everybody. We have our Rumble and X account where we post all of the guests in advance. So you could have known that these lovely people are going to be on the show yesterday at 7 p.m. Eastern because that's always when it comes out. Every day, 7 p.m. Eastern, the announcements go out. So follow us on X and also follow us on Kick and Spotify if you want to hear our horrible voices after the show and not our sexy faces. And guys, we have an Instagram, don't we, Blabs? Yes, we do. So follow us over there for some memes and clips and whatnot. And then you can also find us on Locals, and you can find everywhere else, basically. But For locals, I need 10 of you guys to come over there and say hello and follow us there. It's free, and there's like exclusive videos over there. So do it, like Palpatine says. Anywho, exactly. I need a Palpatine meme, guys.
Do what must be done. Follow us on social media.
Yeah. And we have 70.6 thousand of you guys on YouTube, so shout out to all of you guys. And if you're new, please consider subscribing and smashing the like button. If we can get 500 likes before the show ends, I'll do the whole, what do they do in South Korea and all that? You do little hearts like that. I'll give all of you guys little hearts.
What is happening in South Korea?
Don't you know?
What?
It's like the heart thing. The heart thing. It's like anime in South Korea and all the Asian countries. They do this.
All I know about South Korea is they make games with voluptuous women, and for that they have my respect forever. They make the sexiest games with the sexiest ladies, so I love them for that.
Okay, and also if you guys could consider becoming memberships, that would be awesome. We are looking for 25. That is our usual goal for every stream. Okay, one more thing I have to shell out for you guys. Besides the fact that we have Maven videos coming out. So Craig did an interview with Maven, who was a former WWE guy. Am I right in that? Okay,
Tough enough. Yes. Big wrestling fan. So Maven killed it. He was the first winner of the WWE Challenge way back in the Ruthless Aggression era. And he does great stuff, and he knows so much about wrestling. So the interview is excellent.
Yes, so you can find clips of the interview every single day this week. So check out those videos too. But also, guys, there are only 20 left of these shirts. So you have to get it before they are gone. And if you haven't, tag us on like social media and we'll retweet it or like share it on our Instagram stories, whatever the case is. But definitely get one because there's only 20 left. And once they're gone, they are gone because every month we're going to try to do another shirt. And it's going to be a completely different design. And I've seen the April one and it's pretty good too. So I'm just saying, get them all. Okay, that's it.
Like Pokemon. Why?
I feel like I'm on the drugs today. I had like no sleep. I had coffee. I could barely eat my eggs.
This is what I love about Blabs Week is like you're just going full blown crazy. We live in the crazy. You're talking to yourself and your other self. You have headmates. It's wonderful. I love it.
I have headmates. Yeah, it's true. Sadness. But yeah, anyway. Bacon says, can I design one? Talk to Craig. See what happens about that. And what is this Crow movie stuff that I keep seeing? I don't know.
Don't mention it. Can we just not talk about it? It's not.
We triggered the men with like one sentence.
Do you want to know, Blabs? Would you like to know more?
Sure.
Okay. The Crow is a beloved 90s movie starring Brandon Lee. It sounds like True Pop is a fan as well. It's a big cult classic. And the movie is pretty much this like kind of edgy goth love story about this. It's not a spoiler. It's the whole plot of the frickin' movie. This guy and his girlfriend get killed by this like evil like gang pretty much just for kicks. But because it was such a tragic death, he comes back to life and then he's like, I'm going to get revenge and kill everybody. Sadly, tragically, Brandon Lee passed away because there was this whole, there's conspiracies about it. But one of the guns was loaded with a real bullet. I'm paraphrasing here, but and it shot him and he died. And he's the son of Bruce Lee. And it's been a cult classic ever since, to the point we're talking about wrestling. Sting, who just retired recently, like based his whole persona, his recreation in the 90s on him. But they're remaking the movie because nothing can be left alone. And it looks terrible. It's starring Bill Skarsgård. And if you even... Yeah, if you're a fan of the original, you are just vomiting and crying and screaming because
it's not the actor's fault. The actor's cool. Like I like him in other stuff. So
he's great as Pennywise. Yeah,
they're doing the Jared Leto thing, which I hate with a passion.
When they first announced the casting, I was like, okay, I'm interested. Maybe this will be good. And then the reveal of the look gets showed, and then the trailer, and it's just like, you did not catch any essence of the original. I just see CW edgy, kind of cheap plays. Yeah. There's so many race swaps as well that I've seen in the trailer as well.
Okay.
It looks like he shopped at Modern Hot Topic when the Crow's supposed to shop at 90s.
Like a Jared Leto. Yeah. And the thing is, like, he doesn't really get that brutal death. They just get like a plastic bag over them. That's how they get killed, the couple.
Oh, really?
And in the movie, it was just it was such more of a graphic death scene.
It's rough in the original, yeah.
there's so many little changes that you can see in the trailer. It's just
Wow.
Wow.
Finally got them to shut up. Okay. Anyway.
I thought you wanted to know, Blabs. I can talk about the crow with True Pop for like 80 hours. Don't you want that?
No.
Moving on then. Jeez.
Okay, there's a direct donation that I have to get to, but I see what you did there, Shiny King, who donated $10. He says, "What do you call a female orthopedic surgeon? A patilla girl." I'll see myself out. I changed the words. Nice try. And then we have another person who's also tried changing the words on me. Mo, listener, for, King5. Blabs, as the HP expert, help settle a debate. Are bone-growing potions universal, or is it like a specific potion that will help your patella grow? Got it. It's not happening. Anyway, Matthew says, officially Blabs Scroller Podcast. And the worthy one says, "Sup, Melee Games? I'm the guy who tagged y'all in that Seth Rollins Sweet Baby Ink meme on X."
Like I said, was so funny.
Any wrestling memes, it's a way to my heart. I love wrestling references, so throw them my way anytime.
Yeah, no, that was freaking
Even
beautiful.
Seth Rollins. I'm not a big Seth Rollins fan, but it was funny, so it passed.
I'll burn it down with you.
Oh, God.
Okay. Anyway, Dermy says, "Yes, best husbando is on, and his wife."
Hello, my
I'm
internet
the wife?
husband.
That's it? Just kidding.
The wife. The missus.
The wife.
Move aside, Kay. It's me and Dermy time.
60 Watt for 5 says, "I remember 90s Hot Topic back when it was real." Well, I mean, even the early 2000s, I would say up until 2015 or so, it was okay. I mean, I could find lots of Harry Potter stuff there. Remember when BBC Sherlock was the biggest thing too? And you could find all the buttons of 221 B and everything, the home address.
The ending was disappointing.
Oh, so the last season of BBC Sherlock was awful. It was disgusting. I was like, I'm never watching this ever again. It ruined the show.
Yeah.
I went into a Hot Topic recently, and all the girls, literally all of them had elf ears, as in they actually clipped their ears to be elvish. And it's why would you do that? Don't do that.
What happened to being metalheads?
I was in there just to buy a metal shirt, and then I'm like, did I enter magical fairyland? What's going on?
James is a Hot Topic girl, just to let everyone know.
Yeah, I'm a 15-year-old Hot Topic girl.
I bet he's got the account. He gets the Hot Topic coupons and everything. Mm-hmm. Hot Topic points.
I use my birthday
getting
coupon.
Their ears surgically shaped into elf ears. You guys have heard about this, right? Yeah.
I need Adam's meme that says, "I have glorious ears," but we don't have it anymore, sadly.
How much to get Adam to make his ears elf ears? That's what I want to know.
I don't think he'll do it. Tony says, "Sweet Baby Ink," more like Dead Baby Ink. Yeah, we'll see. Alan says, "I want a Spawn movie remake, but also don't because Modern Hollywood would probably ruin it. Heard Todd is very picky, as he should be."
Oh my God, I can talk about a Spawn movie for 6 hours now. Anyway, Todd McFarlane has been trying to do it for literal years. He's very transparent about it. Yeah, and he's attempted so many times. He's even shown the script and being they're making me cut this, and this. So yeah, I believe in Todd. I don't believe in Hollywood.
Anyway, okay. So, we got a lot to talk about. I want to make sure that I caught everything up. YouTube, go away. Okay. Am I caught up? Yes. All right. Let's see. Oh, on Locals, Moshe says, "Hey, just tuned in to see you going mental." Yes.
That's what we do here.
It's what we do here. Okay, guys. Shall we get into the non-flaccid news, the very, very hard news?
No.
I'm always
the
hard
answer
here.
The answer is yes. We're going in. Why would you want to be flaccid, James?
No, I'm never like that. Not with chat over here. I am always hard and ready to go. How's it going?
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm staying so far out of this conversation.
You love that word, don't you, Blabs? Flaccid. You've used it twice in shows now.
Flaccid.
Yeah.
Hard news.
I swear this never happens to me. Okay, guys. So yesterday we were talking about that extremely racist EA woman, but there's more EA stuff going on. Now, before we continue it on, I have to say that in the document I created, I called it EA Games Challenged in Everything. and I just have to announce it to the world because I thought it was extremely witty. But
I loved it. I loved it.
Thank
I was
you.
like, I love it, Blabs. Thank you.
Thank you. What do we got going on, guys?
All right, so pretty much EA has announced that despite the absolute state of the industry, that they want more live service games. And so despite everything being crippled in video games, they are double, triple, quadrupling down. The thing is, EA, I get it. I kind of get like your angle. So with a live service game, you're able to keep like a team employed for a long amount of time. Traditionally with video games, you have a team and then you have to lay them off as you get ready for the next product. But if your live service game is successful and it's actually profitable, then you can keep like a steady, consistent team and grow it. I get it. But this is coming off the news that they canceled Star Wars games, a Mandalorian bounty hunter game that I'm sure actually would have done well, believe it or not, something doing well with Star Wars nowadays. But I don't know. EA just constantly is they can't handle their own greed, and so you're just going to see failure after failure. And I pretty much tweeted this out because it doesn't matter. EA, no matter how many mistakes they make, they always come back. They're the cockroach of the gaming industry. So it's like they can make a stupid decision like this, and it's just like, whatever, we made our money and we're back again. So yeah, EA, get ready for more live service games from EA in the future, not only Apex but just everything live service.
Well, they made a huge fuck up when they were finally getting 2017 Battlefront 2 like on track back in around 2020. And then in the April of that year, they're like, please, we're ending live service and everything to go work on Battlefield, which then also flopped. So I'm like, you had a game that you were actually getting on track, that people were enjoying and having fun, and you were fixing the bugs. And they were honestly, I guarantee you this, they were going to throw Ahsoka and Padme in there, because if you look at that like agent, the one in black, she literally holds her guns like Ahsoka holds the lightsabers, and like we would have had all these characters thrown in there, but no, we got BB-8 instead. Whatever.
Yeah. So for anyone that doesn't know, they did the Battlefront 2. It was an infamous flop. It was the most downvoted post in Reddit history.
Microtransactions. Go Hawaii.
Yeah, but if you play the game now, this is what people don't get. If you play the game now, it's actually like a really good game. It's a really solid, competent game. But they had to like rebuild it from the ground up. And literally, Blabs is 100% right. The second that they fixed it and they fixed everything, they did a post like the next day, and they're like, "Okay, we're done. Bye." And it's like, why would you say that? You had it, you fixed it, and they've canceled Battlefront 3, the sequel to it. So EA just makes the stupid decisions every single freaking time.
Left and right. Yeah, I could go like a whole rant about Battlefront 2, but like besides the fact that it's not even cross-platform, and this one that just came out, the new Battlefront, well, not the new, but
the
remastered basically for Steam and all, isn't even cross-play again. It's like you had one job, but yeah, they had so much potential at the end of the game, and then they're just like, nah. It's like. Yeah, you almost had it, then you fucked up. You had the exclusivity for Star Wars for years on end. You made, 3 games in the 10-year span that you had it. It's like, you guys suck. They suck.
So they're going to keep sucking. This is all EA does, is they suck nonstop. But, yeah, I recommend everyone...
That's what they do. They're like that prostitute in that movie in, what was it, Vietnam? Sucky, $10. Don't you remember? What's that movie called? I can't remember.
I don't know.
That doesn't narrow it down at all. But yeah.
What was it called?
So many sound clips today.
Oh, I can't remember. Shit, man. I know you mean the movies will know what it's called. But hi, John. I think John's in the chat too. There he is.
My god.
You mean the movies? Tell me what movie. Full Metal Jacket. Thank you.
Oh,
love you long time. See that check. That's it.
I'm more like the first half of Full Metal Jacket recently with all the news going on. I'm just sitting in a bathroom with a shotgun and smiling at everybody. So I get it.
Kay's like, what are we doing today? I told you I was going to be unhinged today. I lost my mind.
I love it. I love unhinged Blabs. This is the best time. I'm in.
Okay, so moving along. So speaking of Battlefront, it was released today. And yet, lots of bugs and glitches, and supposedly there was only 3 multiplayer servers.
Yeah, so
multiplayer game.
I've been a fan of Aspire Media for a long time. I've been a shill of them, so to speak, because they have been consistently releasing all these old Star Wars games, and they've all been pretty solid. They did the Republic Commando, they did Episode 1 Racer, they did Jedi Outcast, Jedi Academy, and they're all pretty solid. The thing is that right now in the industry, people are dying for like a return to old games and fun games, especially with all the Sweet Baby stuff going on. And so I think Aspyr really missed the mark here because they didn't realize how much people actually wanted this game. So their other games, they released them just fine. And like the people that wanted them, but now everyone jumped on. Like, how many thousands of players are jumping on the original Battlefronts? Like, people were dying for this, so they launched it on Steam with only 3 servers, and there was thousands of players. I tried playing last night. You can't get in, and the thing is, especially if you're playing on Steam, there's like no reason to own the game because the originals you can get for a couple bucks and they work fine and flawlessly, and the online even sort of works there as well. So it's really sad to see. It's pretty much a Helldiver situation where they got overwhelmed with all this support. So hopefully they fix it. Hopefully they read the room. They're like, okay, usually we just do ports, but now we actually have to pump up the jam and we have to go hard on this. But we'll see. I can't recommend buying it right now. Maybe on the Switch so you can get the game portable. But apart from that, it's a little rough. It's a little janky.
See, I bought it on Steam because there was like a pre-order sale, like 48 hours or whatever beforehand.
Yeah.
It was 10% off, so a huge discount, huge. But I went and bought it for myself and the friends, so I ended up spending over $60, and you currently really can't play this game yet. And I'm like,
yeah. Also,
the one time I pre-order a game.
This game really tickles my tism as well, so to speak.
I thought you were going to say something else. I was like, pickles!
We can tickle all the pickles if you want. But I have played this game to death. It's one of my favorite games of all time, if not my favorite. And so everything feels just slightly off. It doesn't feel exactly one-to-one, even if you just do the single player. It feels like just like they changed something and everything is just tilted. So.
You were playing with the sensitivity. So James was actually going autistic with us yesterday. He had our Xbox on and he had Steam going at the same time. He's playing the original version and the real version. And he's like toggling on the TV back and forth, and he's like, "This feels weird." And he's like spinning in circles.
Here it is on Xbox. Here it is on PC. It feels like marginally different. What is happening? So yeah, I am very tismy with this game. It
actually is like it feels actually a lot different. Yeah.
Yeah, like it feels like it's got like kind of a smooth overlay. People were talking about this on the Steam forums. It feels like mobile-esque. Like it's the same game, but if you've played it for thousands of hours and have no life like I do, like everything just feels slightly off. I think everyone will have a game like this. Like this is like the Master Chief Collection with me and Halo 2, where I'm like, it's the game, but like there's something slightly tilted. So if you're a diehard Battlefront fan like I am, you're also gonna be like, what's going on, big guy? Yeah.
Did you hear as well that it's 60 gigabytes?
Yes,
like
it is.
Game? Yeah.
Yeah, and it makes no sense. They really didn't add anything at all.
But isn't it all the games together?
It's just the first 2, but like the first 2 are like 10 gigabytes total or something insanely small. So it's like, where's this extra 50 gigs you're shoving in? It doesn't make any sense.
Maybe it's tracking all of our gameplay and watching us. That's all all the spyware.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Chinese spies.
It could very well be. But yeah, chat, let me know if you guys will be getting this game or will you be waiting until the bugs and glitches are fixed, which sucks because I spend $60 for nothing.
Sucks to be you.
Shut up! Pop!
You can take advantage of Steam refund. I'm just saying, as long as you don't.
Yeah, but I'm gonna play the game eventually, so.
Steam sales are right around the corner. You can get the originals for like a couple bucks.
Yeah, but you can't do multiplayer like you can.
You can. You just can't do the promised 64-player multiplayer, which is broken anyway.
Well, when it's fixed.
I hope it does get fixed.
Anyway, let's move on to the next topic that someone can yell about. Has anybody here played Fallout? And this includes the chat too. Any Fallout games?
Yeah, I've beat Fallout 3. I played it terribly because back in the day I was a Halo fan, and I'm like, I don't get it. I beat it in 7 hours. What do you mean I played it wrong? And all these RPG fans were screaming at me. But I have lots of friends and people I know that are diehard fans of the series.
Well, you guys saw that a couple weeks ago they released the trailer, and then I believe the show is actually out now on Amazon Prime.
It's going to be in April.
It's April?
Yeah.
I thought it was already out by now, but you know what? Fine. For 15 more days, guys, and then you can go watch it. However, the directors have a message for you, and they say, a fool's errand for series to try and appeal to fans. So that's right, guys. The directors of this Fallout game that's supposedly based on a video game, it's not made for you. I'm shocked. Shocked, I say.
Yeah. Yeah. Just, folks, can we treat this the same way that all my fellow Spartans, all my fellow Halo fans treat the show? Freaking ignore it, for the love of God. Like, if they don't respect you, who are they going to respect? I understand that you have to take some adaptations, like film, TV is not the same as video games. But look, there's ways to like check in and poke at this without having to support them. So I would highly recommend going that way. These guys don't deserve your money. They don't deserve your time or anything. All you had to see was that original screenshot that looked like it was from a Saturday Night Live sketch, a bad one. So I don't have any faith for this, and I think Fallout fans shouldn't be supporting it. I mean, hey, if you love it, more power to you. Maybe I'm wrong, but
see, Lemon Green wants to know, who is it for then? Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to figure out. If you're going to adapt a game, then just follow it. It's not difficult. Why do we keep putting people in place that don't respect the lore, that think that they can't appease fans? Yes, typically gamers are a little more intense about their lore. That's true. But that just means you need to put even better people in place who actually are passionate, because there's plenty of people who are, and you make it good. It's absolutely possible to adapt a game into a movie or a TV show. You just have to try. You just have to try.
It's basic customer service. And, there's been that glaring example of one of the producers on the Witcher Netflix show saying that they actively had people who hated the source material. And when directors, producers say this kind of thing, I just fail to see why they even say it, because it's like not even good customer service awareness at all. You are supposed to sell this product, this show. How does comments like these sell your show in any way?
It's a shit marketing job. But let me read you what he has said, and you guys can follow along. Let me zoom in for you guys. Okay. He says, I don't think you can really set out to please the fans of anything the director opened, or please anyone other than yourself. So, he's a big self-insert. It's all about me. I want to make this happy for me, not for you.
Oh my God.
And then he says, I think you have to come into this trying to make the show that you want to make, and trusting that with us being fans of the games, we would find the pieces that were essential to us and try to do the best version, he added. So again, it's not about you, dear fans, the ones who are actually the paying customer and the people who are going to be watching. It is about the person making it. For the modern audience. Yeah.
This is the kind of stuff you just say to yourself in private, like, it's okay if I did bad in this one part. It's about making myself happy, you know? Like, but he's saying the quiet part out loud. Like, try your best, and if you do fail in some way, be humble about it. Fix it for the fans. But behind scenes, that's where like your mom comes in. It's like, it's okay, sweetie, you tried your best. Just make it for yourself. Like, I just don't understand why this was even said publicly.
I don't get it.
It was going to be a shit show from the get-go. This is going to be made by people who made Westworld, and that was a terrible show. Had a great beginning.
It's a shame because that chick, Ella Purnell, who plays Lucy, she actually is a pretty decent actress. I've seen her in a couple of other stuff, and I like her work. So it's a shame that everything just has to go to the stupidity that it is always.
Yeah, it's just so hard for these people to actually listen to the fans and do what they want, apparently. Even though that's how you make money, but time and time again, Hollywood just keeps failing, especially when it comes to video game adaptations. So this is another par for the course situation.
Everything on Amazon Prime is going to be terrible, including God of War, made by Wheel of
What?
Time.
You mean to tell me you're not excited for season 2 of Rings of Power?
No.
What's Rings of Power? I ignore Rings of Power.
I haven't watched it. I have no desire.
In my head canon, it's not real.
Amazon, right? One of the richest companies in the world. And something like Rings of Power feels so incredibly cheap in its writing, in its characterization, in its costumes. Everything just feels so cheap. I can't believe how they do it, you know?
And I think they're going to botch The Boys as well. Like, look at the early marketing for the next season of The Boys, and it's just like, we get it. We get your show is hyper political and all this stuff, but like you're leaning into it way too hard now. Way too freaking hard.
All right, well, let me get to some super chats, Rumble rants. So the first one is from Dude on Rumble, and he says, I wouldn't be surprised if the Battlefront collection is mining crypto, and that's why the FPS is terrible according to some users. See? They're watching you.
And that's maybe why the file size is so insanely huge. For no reason.
Then Captain Clean comes in for $1, says, Fallout fans can barely agree on factions. What he said in context makes sense.
Okay.
Well, I can't claim to know anything about Fallouts, but I just think from a generic point of view, like saying, it's not about the fans, is not a good PR stunt.
Yeah, let me know, fans. If the show is actually like, hold up, it's actually great, then I'm happy for you guys. I'm not a big Fallout guy. I'm just like, as a Halo fan and what we have to go through, I'm like, it's probably going to be bad, but I hope to be wrong for you guys.
You know, if they didn't make Westworld, maybe I'd be more inclined to believe them, but they made terrible stuff beforehand, so why should I?
All right, and let's catch up on the tubes. Jeremy says, listen, Kay, you are more than just wife. You are my best friend. Sorry, Pop, no birds allowed, and we are going to McDonald's. To be honest, I thought this was going to be like a Toby Keith song about like Red Solo Cup. You're not just a wife. You're my friend. Lifelong.
That's beautiful.
Friends to the end. Why
Thank
are you
you
going
for
to
being my
McDonald's?
friend.
Why are you going to McDonald's? I don't get it.
What do you have against McDonald's?
Is this something
It's
else?
gross.
Like this man doesn't know about root beer? Do you know about McDonald's?
Me and Dermy are getting married, and the food at our wedding is going to be all McDonald's. McRibs for everybody.
Anyway, 60 Watt says, are you trying to tell me that a big AAA studio released an unfinished game? Yes. I guess Ubisoft is right. We need quadruple A games now. Well, there's only one quadruple A game in existence, and it also flopped. So,
Skull and Bones. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't really think we need AAA games either.
We need to go to 5-star games, baby.
We need to keep going up, guys.
We need 5 A's. 5. That will do it.
Joey says, in Helldiver's case, didn't expect the game to be very successful since the first one wasn't. In Battlefront's case, they have no excuse. That is also true. They just weren't expecting it to be, as popular.
Asper's a weird situation, though, because for any KOTOR fans, they also promised they were going to add these mods that were like Steam mods that weren't even part of the original game, and they couldn't deliver on that, and a lot of people were really disappointed. I think they handled it decently by saying, hey, you can. I think they gave out like free copies of different games or something like that when it happened.
They did. Yeah.
But I think they're just an ambitious team. Like, they do understand that people are passionate about Star Wars, and they know what the fans want, but then when they actually try to put it in practice, they're not always able to execute. I feel like that might have been what happened here too, because they should have obviously built more servers. In their brain, they're like, oh yeah, we built a few, it'll be fine. And maybe they couldn't scale to the level they thought they could. But I noticed that with KOTOR, I'm like, ooh, just don't make extra promises. Just make it faithful 1-to-1.
Yeah.
And that's it.
I really don't think they realize how much people are dying for this sort of game right now. Like I said, when they did Jedi Academy a few years ago, I love the multiplayer in that as well. And that went out totally fine, but it also didn't have like this overwhelming amount of players or anything. So the people that got it, they played fine, but everyone loves Battlefront and wants to return to it.
Yeah, it is pretty popular. Steph's abused keyboard. Remember for 1 month. What? Avatar wasn't hard to adapt, and they still screwed that and messed with the lore. They can make an accurate adaptation, they just don't want to. Yeah, of course not. There was that whole thing about, what was it, released like a week or so ago, how they don't want them, they want to change the lore of certain stuff. Like, source material doesn't count. Was it that Red Sonja thing? And you guys know about that?
Yeah. So Red, I'm not like a big fan, but Red Sonja or whatever, it's pretty much like sexy comic book lady, and it's got a big diehard fan base. It's very similar to Vampirella. And so it's like, look, obviously, if you're gonna adapt this, it's got to be super sexy and bombshell. But of course, modern Hollywood, there's no way they're gonna go that way, and so it's gonna be another scenario where it bombs, and then they're gonna blame us when it bombs because nobody goes to see it.
Yeah, Disper had to say something. He says the source material is made to be profitable, but we put a lot of work into changing that. One hell of a business strategy. It's true.
Brilliant.
All right, well, let's keep going with the super chats. 60 Watt says the indie passion projects are being funded by Hollywood. That's the problem. These show creators are always making these things for themselves. That's not your job. True, it's to create entertainment for other people, or else you're not going to make money if you're just doing it for yourself. I'm just saying. Just seems like a shitty business plan. What do I know?
Yeah.
I'm just an idiot with a microphone. All right.
We love you for it.
Okay, guys. let's go and talk about IGN real fast because they're in the deep shit again. So here's IGN, and they say Resident Evil 5 simply cannot be remade, at least not to the standards of Capcom's best work. So the answer is not to remake, but to rewrite. And before I jump in that, hey.
Hi, everybody.
How you doing?
How's it
the
going?
pool boy?
Yeah.
They are working on it right now.
Oh, there's multiple pool boys.
Oh wow!
Nice.
Well, I mean,
Extra's getting busy. Ooh.
Cheating on James, I get it.
shameful. The thing that we're having done is they're not opening our pool yet, but they're replacing parts of the cement, like they're replacing the grommets and all that. So you just had to make sure that everything is good, and just wanted to make sure they didn't need anything from me.
Mm-hmm. We all know what you're up to.
Did they?
No, thank God. Just I'd say payment for the services. Don't take that out of context, even though you will.
I already did. Thank you.
I figured.
Well, hang on. I'm gonna use this one.
Wow.
You love that one, Blabs.
I
love
did
the
too.
wow.
I
Use it
approve.
3 times now.
Use it more, Blabs. I love
This is
it.
hey on James and Extrazero's relationship. Okay, I'm done with the
I'm
videos.
the prettiest pool boy.
Okay. So basically, we had just started talking about IGN. Now, Extrazero, are you aware of all the IGN bullshit currently?
Oh, yes, I am. I think I brought it to your attention that
yes.
when they I first every day I have this kind of ritual. I don't give Kotaku any clicks, but unfortunately, and you can blame me all you want, I give IGN a click every other day just to see what stupid bullshit they've decided to write about. Because IGN was like, it used to be a staple of the internet. I remember a different time when, I would get up in the morning, I'd check IGN, I'd check Joystick. Remember Joystick? They used to be fantastic. Oh, yeah. And Joystick never fell down the bullshit train either, like Kotaku did. I was really sad to see them go because they actually were. And someone will probably say otherwise, but to my perspective, they actually were game journalism. But I remember when IGN had integrity, and then they lost it all. But the thing was, I always love when they write these bullshit articles to scroll down to the bottom to the comment sections just to see, what people are saying, because it's funny. There's a lot of people that read IGN that disagree with them. And I think it's a lot of longtime readers and, a lot of people that just happen to click and have common sense will pop in and say, hey, this is ridiculous. I scroll down and I'm like, well, that's peculiar. They don't have comments on. So it's like, I wonder.
Well, we didn't get to that yet. So before we do, I just have to say, is this real? IGN had a babe section?
They did.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Well,
anyway.
you gotta remember, IGN, like, there was a time when G4 was edgy and cool in the early 2000s, and IGN was following suit. And, they kind of have always gone along with, like, what, and again, I guess it's whatever the way the acceptable winds are blowing is where they want to portray themselves. They never want to actually be. And yeah, I see Neon Suspender saying booth babes. That used to be a big thing with E3.
Oh, I miss them so much. And if you remind any of these,
it's like I missed the jiggle physics in real life.
Well, shoot,
if you remind them, they'll start not castrating themselves. They'll start whipping themselves in the back and everything, and like they just can't handle their past.
Well, don't forget too that like there was a time when Playboy was getting into the gaming scene. And remember, they actually had, I believe, I know for certain, Melina from Mortal Kombat was on there. Marge Simpson was in Playboy magazine, even though Marge isn't really a gaming character. And I don't think Lara Croft was on there, but Blood Rain totally was.
Oh yeah.
Well, let me just bring this back. So, right before we said, before Extrazero joined in, IGN said Resident Evil 5 simply cannot be remade, at least not to the standards of Capcom's best work. So the answer is not to remake, but to rewrite. And then they went and turned off all of their reply section. Now, I'm going to do a quick little open tab here. We're going to go and look at IGN. This is IGN's Twitter account. And lo and behold, everything else has their replies and, responses turned on. Okay? Yep. So just keep that in mind. But then when we actually go to the article, this Resident Evil game that cannot be remade. Also, I love that I keep getting Harry Potter ads. That's too funny. Anyway, if you scroll to the very bottom, like Extrazero was saying, There are no ads, and I mean, there are no,
no
comments.
comments.
There
No
are
comments.
tons of
Yeah.
ads. There's no
Yeah.
comments whatsoever.
Yet it's funny in their poll what Resident Evil should be remade. Now, I believe yesterday the poll Code Veronica was leading, and I believe, and I agree, Code Veronica is the one that needs the remake the most.
If I hit a random thing, what will happen? Oh,
The article is pushing for Code Veronica.
I just randomly put Code Veronica just to see what happens.
No.
I don't know any
now they've Streisand affected themselves because
Exactly.
I'm sure people were like, and again, I'm a huge Resident Evil fan. I think Code Veronica needs it the most. I would like to see 5 remade and fix a lot of the co-op jank that the game had. Like, oh, hey, Sheva just took or Shiva, however you want to say, I think it was Sheva in the game. She took a minor hit, so she's going to start using a first aid spray, and waste that item. That was what bothered me the most. How is it acceptable that killing, by their logic, going around and killing Spaniards, nobody seems to have a problem with?
Yes, because it was based.
Yeah.
The previous games were based in Europe, so we have to start this from scratch basically because the chat might not know what we're talking about here. So they wrote this article saying why it can't be remade, but there's a very specific part telling you why they think it is racist. So it says, set in a fictional West African country, Resident Evil's 5 primary antagonists are black people. Yes, technically it's the Ouroboros virus that protagonist Chris Redfield is fighting, but the parasite host is depicted as a nation of mobs and primitives who are violent even before their infection. Intentionally or not, Resident Evil 5 positions Africa as the dark continent, an uncivilized world harboring disease population that needs gunning down via Western intervention and global security.
I don't mean to cut you off, Blabs, but James, Kay, you guys both played it like me. Where were the African people portrayed as violent prior to infection? Because I don't seem to recall that.
Yeah, no, it's the thing is this journalist here, he doesn't actually view them as equal. No one's ever had a problem with Resident Evil 4 and you're mowing down Spaniards, was it, right?
Yeah.
And this one suddenly he just can't handle the fact that you're shooting black people in a area of the world where they're predominantly black. So it's just, it shows like their own racism actually more than anybody's. And I love this whole article is actually framed almost like a threat to me because the person is saying at the start of the article, here's all the problems with the game. So if you do remake it, this is how we're going to review bomb it. And if you go ahead, there's a part where they're just like, no, we will not accept this. So they're making a stance to, they just say flat out, no, we won't accept this in the article. And so I think the way that they're locking comments, not only on Twitter, but also on their website as well, is they want to pitch this effectively to Capcom and say like, hey, if you do this, we're going to sabotage you. We're going to destroy you. So either make a different game or radically change it. So yeah, it's just journalists once again.
Capcom might cave. I mean, like they've had games where they put the warning up front before the game starts, just like what Lara Croft did. So they could potentially cave, but I do think it's funny that they're freaking out and doing this whole, he doesn't have white guilt when he's mowing down the infected Africans that are attacking him.
Well,
these are trying to kill him. Isn't it like, what about like self-defense? Did it not consider these things?
Yeah, there's a horde of people coming at me. I don't care what race they are. I want to survive this event.
Right. Yeah. Well, Resident Evil 6 starts out in China, and the thing about the C virus is that those people infected with the C virus got to keep their mental autonomy, and you're going and killing Chinese people. It's kind of crazy to me that we're remaking games that were part of the modern era anyway. I mean, Resident Evil 5 really isn't that old. I mean, it's old, but it's not old in that grand scheme of things. But nobody wants to talk about Resident Evil Code Veronica and the Ashford twins. If you've never played it, I believe it was Alex Ashford was his name, or is it Alfred? I can't remember, but he
starts with an A.
It starts with an A, and he was basically. I don't want to say he was in drag, but he was split personality. Like he took on the personality of his sister and even adopted her voice. So he was playing the role of both twins. So there's the whole, can we kill somebody who is trans or gender non-conforming? And it's interesting that they're pushing for Code Veronica. And it's kind of obvious to me that this person isn't a fan of Resident Evil, hasn't played the game, and also is very, a hypersensitive little bitch. Because, as a Spaniard myself, or half, the way they portrayed Spaniards in Resident Evil 4, could be, and I'm not offended by it because I recognize that small villages exist. My wife's family's from Sicily, and they have villages there where, guess what? There's no internet. They are a small, self-contained village that lives like they did 100 years ago. That exists. Yeah. So the whole idea to say that you can't portray Africa in a way that doesn't fit the normal narrative is in itself kind of offensive, because they portray the Africans as in multiple ways. They had people that were more primitive. They had people that were more civilized and living in actual, shanty towns. Then at the end of the game, you're in labs and whatnot. They portrayed the landscape of a quote of also a fictional country as very diverse. And it's just like, Black Panther. I mentioned it yesterday. The Wakandans are very advanced, yet they're using spears and shields, and nobody takes offense to that. And also the whole thing about Wakanda is they pretend to be a dirt poor third world country when they're very technologically advanced. Why are they? Yeah, why is it acceptable for them to portray themselves as a stereotype? And I'm just asking questions here. I'm not, I'm not finger wagging or pointing one way or the other. I'm just saying that it's just like when you're dealing with fictional places and countries, you have to be willing to accept anything. And and again, Static Blue says it's selective outrage, and that's exactly what it is. Because no one cares about portraying Spaniards as an underdeveloped third world place, a little disconnected village, and why do they have chainsaws and guns out the ass when they're this small little town?
Yeah. So let me actually read some of the stuff from the article so that the chat knows what specifically is being said here. So if you look at this paragraph right here, it says, but that was a 2009, a time when race was apparently a debate rather than a reality. In the 2020s, in a post-Black Lives Matter world, there is only one acceptable response to a white man shooting waves of Africans for an entire video game. No. So that is what James was saying before.
They're completely ignoring the fact that the other character, like Extra mentioned, is a Black woman. Yes. And even back in the day, she did an interview saying, no, it's not racist. Because unfortunately, even back then, people were trying to make this argument and trying to cancel the game. And so the actress herself was like, no, it's not racist. I'm a Black woman. Like, what are you talking about? But it was easier to shut this stuff down back then. But now these journalists just want to have a stranglehold on the entire conversation.
And so remember, chat, they censored their entire tweet about this on Twitter. There are no comments. So like what they say is the law according to them, and you cannot have any other opinion about it, even if you prove them actually wrong. Again, they always want to be right, and if you go and harass these people, guaranteed they'll be like, I'm being victimized, when it's like, you're actually being racist right now. You are being the racist here.
It's funny, to James's point, this goes all the way back to Grand Theft Auto Vice City, and I think IGN was, even back then when IGN was trying to be hip and edgy, they were the ones taking offense. To remember there was a mission where Tommy's told kill all Haitians is the mission.
Yes. Oh my God.
I saw Dermy's comment in there about setting the game in Haiti, but back then there still was an element of sensitivity, and that was in the early 2000s that people took offense to a mission where, a rival gang to the mob in Vice City is Haitians, and they were finger wagging at that. God, all 20 years ago.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, they only see color. Not allowed nuance. Not allowed anything. There's they just see color. That's it. That's all there is to it.
So IGN once again is being the racist, and again, this is why they want a remake, not a remaster, because they think this game is inherently racist and oppressive against the Black people. But it's not.
Yep.
My question is like, oh, sorry, Kat.
I was gonna say, I don't know if you saw, but in the article they actually suggest, why not make the main character Black as well? And then he's like got remorse for murdering some of the other characters, and like they want to do like a Last of Us, like Neil Druckmann type shit, which we don't want in gaming. Like, get that shit out of here. But they're trying to push that angle, like do the Neil Druckmann thing of like,
Melee, but that would be Black on Black crime. You're not allowed that.
My question is, these authors are always white guys or white women do they even talk to black people? Do they even have black friends?
No, of course not, because
You know?
they live in their own little bubble. And I mean, if they're anything like the EA chick that we were like learning about yesterday, she doesn't talk to anybody else of a different race because she needs a safe space. So I guarantee you, these people are all just like the same thing. They're like, nah, we gotta be in our little safe bubble because everyone else is racist and mean, and we can't relate to anyone unless it's a basis of skin color. It's like, okay,
You can't question the narrative, Blabs. You have to stay in your bubble.
That's right.
Yeah.
Bubble
Don't ask
blabs.
questions. Never ask questions.
Mhm.
I love the comment in chat,
Oh.
Ludicrous Redfield by defense.
Jeremy updated. He said the IGN writer went ahead and privated his Twitter account.
Of course.
Oh,
Yeah.
did he?
They did it
Uh,
immediately after dropping this article.
Oh,
so,
this
yeah.
one you say?
Yeah, Ludicrous Redfield. It's amazing.
The thing is,
Okay.
like, in this, hypothetically, in a game, you have white people and white people fighting. Like, someone would probably complain, "Oh, why aren't there any black people in this?" Then you have a white person fighting a black person. It goes, "Oh, this is racism." Then you have a black and it's black and black. It doesn't matter what you do, they will still find a way to call it racist. So
Yeah, because what's the alternative? Not setting it in Africa? Then they'd be complaining, why don't you set it in Africa? Why don't we have zombies that are black people constantly? So you can't win with these people. So just stop trying to appease them and appeal to them. So I really hope Capcom doesn't take them seriously. But yeah, it's in their hands now. So the most we can do is kind of just let them know, hey, we're the real fans. We've seen how well you've been doing lately with your Devil May Cry remakes and your other Resident Evil remakes. Just keep making things for the fans. Ignore the freaking articles. They don't matter. They don't actually buy your games. You usually send them free keys. So stop it.
And to the points of these activists, right? If they don't want Capcom to make this, you can I believe in freedom of speech. If you don't want a company to make a product, you can vocalize that.
Mhm.
I don't like intimidation, but why is it that when it comes to these activists, they can't understand that if something isn't popular or if they actually want to make a difference, make a case for why you should or shouldn't buy something. That's the whole point of these sites. And it's crazy to me that we shifted from these sites being a means, and this goes beyond gaming. This goes to movies. This goes to products. That it's no longer a guide for consumers on how to spend their money, or if you're looking to buy something or spend your time, you use it as a guide. It's now confirmation bias. It's either you're going there with and this applies to us too. It's, we're going there to, not with the intent of being informed about something anymore, but rather, do we agree or disagree?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think they're actually going to remake RE5?
Well, they say it in the article that spoiler alerts for the remake of Resident Evil 4, but the post-credit scene does allude to the fact that they are going to remake Resident Evil 5, and that's what started this whole thing, is this journalist panicking, being like, no, you can't remake it, no!
Triggered.
If Capcom really wasn't going to, I think that they would have removed it from Steam and from all the stores. They're still selling RE5, and they're still making money off of it.
All right, I have to show this because I think this is too funny. But do you guys know what the white witch from Narnia looks like?
Yeah.
Okay, envision her. Is the author not the male version of her?
Oh my god. I see
It's the same person.
I see it.
Wow. I
transitioned.
saw that and I was like, dude, looks like freaking Tilda Swinton, whatever her name is.
I love we're trying to make these points and all this stuff, and Blabs be like, he looks like a witch.
He looks like a goose without a beak.
Yeah, I can see it. Tilda Swinton, yeah, that's her name. But I where's the Turkish delight? This is true. But his description says that he's been working in games media for over a decade with bylines at PC Gamer and PC Games N, but has been here at IGN since 2019. He worked on detailed features that deep dive into video games, their design, I don't think so, and the people who make them. You'll regularly hear his voice and art of the level and Inside Stories videos, as well as IGN UK podcasts. Who actually listens to an IGN podcast, though?
Oh my god.
And
Rather
he
hear cat scratching along the walls, screaming violently than listen to that. My god.
Yeah. So
I will say I did like Max Scoville when he used to be on Rev 3, but I haven't listened to anything over there. I do like Destin as well. I think Destin's still pretty legit.
Yeah, I met Dustin once. Let's see. Oh yeah, you're right. Didn't you say he privated his Twitter?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's pretty much as soon as this article
He
dropped,
doesn't look like Tilda Swinton anymore.
Guybrush Threepwood over here, but yeah.
Bummer.
That-
Bum, bum, bum.
That's what all these people are doing, is get their little targets out there, get their little attacks out there, and then quickly private lock comments and everything so that they look like they're in the majority when they're really not. Everyone's disagreeing with them.
Just making that move in general just says a lot that you're not confident in your opinion, that you're it's basically like hurling something and then hiding behind the bushes is essentially what you're doing.
Well, any closing thoughts on IGN censoring people for responding?
Keep being
5 out
cucked,
of 10.
IGN. That's it. Keep being
Okay.
cucked. We're going to keep laughing at you. Keep doing it.
Yeah,
Go
keep
ahead.
showing us your true colors for sure.
If you want to become irrelevant, by all means, there will be people that rise from the ashes that will create much better content. We don't even care about journalists anymore. So thank you for the laughing material.
Can I get a bunch of hashtags in the chat saying "Cuck Queen IGN"? Thank you.
No!
Oh,
IGN's just going to see all these comments. What's going on? What did we do now? There we go. Extra dropped it.
Oh, sweet. Okay, over on locals, Mr. M16 Mojo sent a $5 tip saying, I wonder if we called for people to just mass block all of these sites on social media would be seen as harassment. As they say, we have the right to speak, just not the right to be heard. True. Look at these beautiful. Look at this.
Oh
yes.
I don't know, but
Awesome.
do you really want to live in that echo chamber? I mean,
No,
if
yeah.
you just block all of them indiscriminately, you're just as bad as they are. I mean, it takes a lot for me to block anybody. It really has to be targeted harassment, or that's my two criteria: is if it's targeted harassment, or if it's like crypto scammer. Those are just the only ways I'll block people. Like I believe in that Voltaire saying, I detest what you say, but I will defend to my death your right to say it. I just wish that we had more nuance and we didn't have these people basically making demands and threatening companies when they have no ground to threaten a company. I mean, the best thing you can do is vote with your wallet. And it sucks that, we're in agreement. Like if you like something or don't like something, vote with your wallet. We're trying to get people in the community to see things that they potentially may not like that are being obstructed from their view, as far as like, hey, this is coming out with a caveat you should be aware of. Like I platinum Spider-Man 2, hated it. I respect the hell out of Beardo. He loves the game, and that's his right. If Beardo sees past all the warts, I honestly,
it's just you said you respect Beardo, and I'm like,
I do respect Beardo. I like the guy. I like Beardo. I think he does good streams. I like his commentary. He just happens to like a game that I don't. But I respect the fact that he sees past the flaws in that game and finds something enjoyable, because I don't.
all right,
Plus, if
moving
they block
on.
IGN and Kotaku,
But I was like, I
need
can't
to laugh.
I can't take anybody saying they respect Beardo playing.
Yeah, I couldn't. I was like, oh, sorry. But I do have to get this comment before it disappears. Happy DSP anniversary. Was it 1 year ago today we did that anniversary?
Oh, wow.
Damn. Anyway, moving on.
I got
Kratos
called
upgrade-
lofty in the chat. Jeez.
Don't so extra
You
zero
deserve
like
it.
that. That's not nice.
I beat Lofty in a debate once. It was glorious. And it was over Resident Evil, of all things.
Look at that. Kratos Gredos gifted $10 over a direct donation. He says, hey James, the Gengar behind you asked me to beg for you for its freedom. Oreos are not a suppository and buttholes are not a hiding place. What are you making me read? Hashtag not your drug mule. Also, the Spyro behind K would like to add its support. Purple lives matter. What the hell did I just read about buttholes?
A lot.
There's Oreos tend to go in very horrible places over here. Let's just say that our streams are special. Gengar, you're not supposed to tell anybody about that. Oh God, I apologize on behalf of him.
Canada to do that. Wow.
Yeah. Nobody cancel Gengar. Nobody cancel him. He's a special
Right.
boy. He's a
Well,
special drug mule.
let me get to these Rumble runs, James. Okay.
Impossible.
Jared on Rumble says, keep up the good work, Blabs. Why, thank you. What do you all think about Dragon's Dogma 2, and is it something y'all would play? So I know nothing about it.
So there's controversy around Dragon's Dogma 2 because they removed the first game lets you pick your gender. Now they've gone to style, body type.
They've gone soy boy AAA style. Gotcha.
And while they still have a very elaborate character creator, I think they've done things to limit height and bust size in Dragon's Dogma 2. I know height definitely is one, but I think bust size was limited. Somebody did a Twitter write up about it. It might have been Epic Mike.
Well, while you get that, let me keep reading. Kratos O'Grados says, you can't even have a black character mowing down a bunch of white zombies because that reinforced negative stereotypes. No, you can't win. If it's black on black, it's bad. If it's white on black, it's bad. If it's black on white, it's bad. If it's white on white, it's bad. It's like, what do you do?
The only way to win is not to play. And in this scenario, I definitely won't be playing.
It's true. Joey says, are we seriously having the race debate on Resident Evil 5? Supposedly, according to IGN. Yes.
It's been around for a long time. I mean, I remember G4 making the same stuff, but Adam Sessler would cry about everything. So we've heard it all. It's all tired. And like I said, just laugh at IGN and anyone else who wants to make this an issue because it's stupid.
Right. Beyond 64-bit. Happy Pi Day, everyone. And it's my birthday, and I want to get back to one of my favorite podcasts. Well, everybody say happy birthday to Beyond 64-bit, especially the chat. Say happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy Pi Day. Yes, it is 3.14159. Correct. 60 Watts says, if I ran a game studio, my logo would be the middle finger. It would be bold, big, erect, and unmistakable.
Not flaccid.
Not flaccid. GK got killed. Speaking of site comments, anyone recall Dissenter?
It sounds so familiar, but I can't.
So familiar, doesn't it?
Yeah, it sounds super familiar.
Like to know more.
Yeah. Dermy Wormy says, for a member for 11 months, just set the game in Haiti. Yeah, they're eating each other over there now, so that's exciting, I guess. Nissan, member for 2 months. They already edited RE5 to add more races on original launch, so he is game journalist. Of course they do.
Yeah, he mentions that in the article, and he pretty much says, that is not enough. You can't just whiten up the zombies here. So
and Jeremy says, the IGN writer privated his Twitter account. Yes, he did. He no longer looks like Tilda Swinton, sadly. Dwight Power. If you look up IGN's review of Resident Evil 5 from, is that what it is? Art Resi? Same thing, right? Resident Evil?
Yeah.
5 from 2009, that they gave it a 9 on 10. So by their own logic, they promoted racism. Ooh.
Hey, maybe remind them about that. Let's see them freak out about that old review score.
Absolutely remind them. Like, that is so funny. Like, of all things. But anyways, IGN doesn't rate anything under an 8, right? And if they do, it's like the worst game on earth. Because every IGN review is like, this game is a 9 out of 10. This is a 10 out of 10. And you're like, do you have any standard whatsoever? And then your scores don't add up. Like, they sometimes do breakdowns. And it's like, everything was awful in this, but it's a 9 out of 10.
Yeah, they usually they gave that explanation, like one of the guys at IGN, that they always minimum give a game like 7 out of 10 because they only review the most popular games there are. And usually the most popular games there are, this is their words, not mine, they're usually like at least a 7. And they don't really review like indie games. They said something about that, which is absolute BS.
All right, I have to blow myself up for this. Blobs the tower for $5. Sitting at work with no power, getting slowly snowed in, but at least I have side scrollers. Rip Craig. I like pickles, violence, and total. No, yay! He keeps trying to get me to say it.
R.I.P. Craig.
And Holden, I almost got it. I almost said it. I'm getting good. It's like the patella thing all over again.
You're catching him quick.
Limit height is being tall, bigoted now.
Yeah, manlet bros rise up. You can't be tall anymore. It's over. If you're like Andre the Giant, you have to get the hell out of here.
Get surgical knee surgery extension. That's what you have to do now.
Yeah, Chet, you thought you almost had me again. Just didn't. Getting good. I'm finally learning. All right, guys. Are you ready for the big hard news that we got today? Sweet Baby Inc.
The rock hard news?
Yeah. The total, what did that last super chat say? The total erect and very enormous and everything. Yeah, that one. All right.
Flaccid. Okay.
That is not what flaccid means, True Pop. I think you, little baby boy, needs to go learn some stuff.
man needs
It's
to
your
understand
favorite
what
word,
flaccid
so
and
you
not
might as well
flaccid
throw it
is.
in the.
I feel so bad for Chewbacca. Listen, he didn't know what year 9/11 happened. We're holding it over his head because that is just an abomination.
We
I
need
was
to
1
teach
years old
him.
when it happened. I was 1.
Super Erect News. Yes, correct. Also, I see Sipme in the chat. Hey, Sipme. And let me see. Hang on. There was also enormous news. Yes. All right. Let's get to it, guys. So there's a whole bunch of Sweet Baby Ink bullshit just exploding all over the internet. Like the amount of links that I found and put in my document, there's at least 20 of them, and my head's like with all this stuff. However, let's go to step 7, which is what we're talking about yesterday with Grums and the whole harassment steps, where they would be like, oh, we're gonna go and rewrite articles on Wikipedia, and we're gonna credit all the journalists as actual sources when they're in fact doing the harassment. Well, look at that. Wikipedia just shut down edits to Sweet Baby Ink page. Interesting. And is that an actual photo of the mods? Yeah. So that is one thing. We're going to keep going. So the other day, Elon Musk actually recognized the whole Sweet Baby Ink bullshit going on. But then he also said this: video games need to get rid of the woke BS. Getting lectured with tedious propaganda is not why people play games. And it's just ironic that Matt Walsh, who has gone on and shit all over people if they like anime or playing video games or any type of pop culture, really, he's just like, forget about it. Now he's the one saying that he has, actually gone out and like, I think this is bad, and I'm going to talk badly about it. And it's like, dude.
And then he's going to plug his own documentary, What is Wario?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
What is a gamer? But let's just hear what this has to say. This was clipped from Jeremy. And he says, Matt Walsh is the first person to highlight wokeness in video game industries, according to Matt Walsh. So basically, he is the Jennifer Lawrence of gaming journalism. Calling it now. Jennifer Lawrence. All right, so let's just listen to what he has to say.
Is that the video game industry, without a lot of fanfare, has transformed into a tool of both propaganda and surveillance. It's an effective way to indoctrinate children precisely because it hasn't received much attention, and also because children spend, many of them, hundreds of hours a year, and that might be an undercount, a severe undercount, with this kind of content.
Bullshit.
It should get a lot of our attention. And now finally that attention is here. And it's yet another reason to keep these games as far away from your children as possible. And if you do that, games journalists, literally the lowest form of journalists on the planet, will accuse you of harassment. And that's exactly how you'll know that you're doing the right thing.
All right. So I put something in the private chat for you, Blabs. It's from Statista. It's from 2022. And the bulk of gamers across the board are not children. So again, somebody in the chat said Matt Walsh is a late stage boomer. I agree with that. The fact of the matter is, this isn't about indoctrinating children. This is about indoctrinating adults. And this goes well beyond the gaming. Because to think that this is happening separate from what's going on in movies and TV and music and everything else, I think it's very narrow-minded to think that this is disconnected from the other facets of DEI and ESG that are and ESG investors that are causing these things to be pushed in other forms, even marketing and what you saw with InBev and Anheuser-Busch. This whole idea, it's not looking at the bigger picture. I know I keep saying that. I know I'm beating a dead horse on that, but I think it's linked. The problem with his take is to think that, think of the children. Sure, you want to make sure children are getting messaging, but Sweet Baby Ink is a little interesting because are they working on kids' games? No,
they're not. So adults. So I would pull this stat up that you showed me. However, it's getting blocked by all these stupid ads and tracking. Oh, no. However, it does say that the largest age group for video gamers are the ages 18 to 34 years of age. Right. So it's not for children, and that was the whole point actually I was trying to make.
The game industry is bigger than the movie industry.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that Matt Walsh is just acting like a Christopher Columbus, like, look at this. I have found a brand new game industry. They're turning it woke. Wow. Yeah. It's not like side-scrollers did God knows how many shows on this. It's not like every other channel on YouTube's been covering this. Like, What
Mark,
I think pundits are so pop culture illiterate, it boils my blood.
You're
Mark
going
the
to see this more
Cyborg
and
pointed
more.
out what I said the other day.
Oh, what was that?
He's talking about Candace Owens being part of.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
You're,
that was mind blowing. Honestly,
you're just
I'm pulling up so many
more.
tweets for all this stuff. So you guys keep going.
As you know, as people that like actually care about the games industry and care about games and all this stuff, and everyone like, you know, in the chat is on Twitter, on social media, blowing up this story, you're just going to see more and more grifters try to latch onto it to get, you know, their own money and their own fame pushed up. And that's what you're seeing here. Like, this is someone that still views video games as like, you know, toys for children. You know, it's just the old NES mindset and everything. So, you know, on one hand, it's a little bit good because then it's just more exposure and everything. Like, I think Elon Musk tweeting about it is actually huge. And that is just unprecedented.
Well, Elon
He's done
doesn't
it
get
twice
it,
now,
I don't
hasn't
think.
he?
Yeah, Elon may be tweeting about it, but BlackRock owns 10% of Tesla, so take that what you will. He should know about ESG investments, and he should be following the money. And Elon has done nothing to make X a better platform. I mean, regardless of what people say, I'm sure there'll be people disagreeing with me here, but you know, it's same boss as old as the new boss. I'd argue it's marginally better, but the fact of the matter is Elon should be well aware of these people and what they're doing with investment money. And the fact that he won't speak out about that directly or connect the dots is a little concerning to me.
Yeah,
well,
there's a lot of issues with Elon, but yeah, and I could talk about those nonstop. He's all talk, no action, but at least in this scenario, like getting more eyes on that and like pretty much solidifying this as like, you know, a big deal. I think that's a positive, but yeah, there is definitely issues with it.
And I see this.
Speaking of Elon, I just got to share this one out. Now, this is a screen grab of Alejandra Carabello, and it's a repost of Alyssa Mercante, which, by the way, she blocked the Side Scrolls account, which is why I'm on my own Twitter account, so I'm unblocked from all these weirdos, and I can see everything.
She blocked me.
See, she blocks everybody but me, and I'm like, that's fine. It's fine. I'm not part of the cool kids, whatever. But let me just share this one. So this is Elon Musk responding to this video of Jeremy the Quartering, Kabrutus, and Grums, and all he says is, wow, right? And then Alejandra says, we're about to learn what happens when the world's richest man and owner of social media decides to support a massive harassment campaign against women, people of color, and LGBTQ people in the gaming industry.
Yeah, and so this is what I mean when Elon Musk talking about this, even if it is with very minimal effort, is huge because now it's just making all these people screech and scream even harder, and the pendulum is swinging so far in the other way. They know that they're in the minority. They know that they're not the popular decision. So now she is radically changing it to be, instead of it just being a list where we list what Sweet Baby has worked on and everything, it's a harassment campaign against women and minorities. Don't you know? They want to take them all. I was seeing people that are on the side of Sweet Baby comparing this to like tiki torch marches and all that stuff, which is just absolutely insane. So yeah, I think this is great because the more that this is pushed out in the open and into the spotlight, you're seeing these people's true colors more and more and more.
Right, and let's just look at this this tweet from a Kotaku writer. Her name is Carolyn Petit. Funny enough. She doesn't really look petite though. She takes a screen grab of Mudgeon Lord and basically tries to like make him look like shit. And she says, we play as characters who are much larger than life, but have flaws like us so that we can relate to them. Both male and female characters in video games pre-2014 were designed to be at peak masculine and feminine form. This is why men in video games with defined muscles are leaders that other men want to follow and are handsome. The female characters are peak feminine with nice bodies, desirable personalities, and faces which would to fall in love with. Now she's saying that's bad. And she goes, the same people who will say we just want games to be apolitical again will then say deeply political stuff like this, making it evident that they want games to reinforce deeply patriarchal, essentialist, and limiting notions of gender, which is not political at all. But then he actually says all this other stuff that she just so, lovingly omitted. And he's basically saying how games were great. Now in the post-2014, you have people like Anita, who knows nothing about the hobby, suddenly comes in and tells you that all of this is deep-rooted in misogyny. Now, with the backing of journalists writing and hit pieces on the community, you are now told that you are sexist for enjoying a character like Eve. So it is a hit piece.
Yeah, well, it's no surprise that Carolyn, of all people, is trying to destroy like normal beauty standards of women, trying so hard to look like one. But they've been,
her?
Yeah, her.
Oh,
but they've
Carolyn
been around.
Petite.
Yeah, but this person has been around since Feminist Frequency. It's one of the original trio of Feminist Frequency. So it's just, again, it's all the same actors constantly regurgitating all their same bullshit. And it's not going to work this time because everyone is a lot more savvy and a lot more aware. And we've done this song and dance before, and we're doing it with the same dance partners. So sorry, Carolyn, not going to work. I'm sorry that women are attractive.
It just gets even better. She just tweeted 5 minutes ago about the IGN article that was, turning off replies. An opinion piece, a piece of commentary about a work in a creative art form, that's subjective? Get this shit out of my face. Seriously, man, that one subset of gamers just love to flaunt its own media illiteracy and inability to understand the role and value of criticism in even the most basic terms.
So, and I love all of them getting mad at the community notes. And that's something Mark Kern pointed out, that like anyone can sign up to go publish community notes. And that is just making all these people go absolutely insane online. So,
but it gets even better about Miss Carolyn, because now it makes more sense. The Feminist Frequency Radio, that is what they look like. And that is their photos of them. And then, this is actually it.
Yeah, I know. I shared that one before.
It's golden. I love the internet sometimes. It's full of idiots, but sometimes it's worth it. There's so many things to talk about Sweet Baby Ink. It's like literally all these different threads and stuff. But before I keep going, anything on Carolyn? Any last words about that? Kotaku writer.
Well,
State Farm might have something to say about it.
Yeah, no, like I said, this is the same person that's worked alongside Anita. You just saw it there, and that's the thing, is these people haven't gone anywhere. All these people do is
that's a dude.
That's yes.
Carolyn's a dude.
The Sorting Hat might have something to say about Carolyn. Let's just say that. But
therapy.
Yeah, that's what I meant by. Of course, they're mad at attractive women because they're trying so hard to be one. But yeah, it's all the same people, and what they do is they just go silent, they go dark, they block you through pop style. And then they worm their way into
like a Sorting Hat that's completely misogynistic.
Dude looks like a lady.
The male Sorting Hat.
I had no idea that was a dude. I just thought it was a really unfortunate looking woman who just, had a bad day and a bad life. Ooh.
Well, it tends to be the unattractive ones that constantly are upset that women are attractive in video games, and they tend to be the ones that are upset that people enjoy fantasy. It's not political to say that sex sells. Like, that's just common sense. So I don't know why she's getting so mad at Mugen Lord over that, but it's just unreal.
Man, okay. Well, to continue on with this whole Sweet Baby Ink debacle, Kabrutus has a message for everyone. So apparently there is actually some harassment going on in the world. And obviously you can't control what everyone's saying. Not that you should control what people are saying. And he's basically saying, I would like everyone who really cares about what's going on to stop harassing other people. I know how you guys feel. And yes, I'm aware of the articles, but bear in mind that is not the way to solve anything. Ask them questions, support me in the cause, spread the word, but by any means, do not harass anyone, as responsible as they can be. I think he's mean as like apprehensible, I guess, as they are. We do not fight harassment with more harassment, but with the truth. We are the good guys. Let's make sure that everybody understands that, okay? And it's true, because there are a couple of bad eggs who are trying to, make us look like absolute dumbasses, and it's not going to win that way. We're not going to get there. So just a message from Kabrutus. But this is where Kay comes in. Kay, what is up with this Take This org?
Oh boy, we're going to get into a little rabbit hole. And you know what, guys? I did the work of reading all 15 pages of what I'm about to talk to, but I will not bore you with 15 pages worth of stuff.
Do you need me to pull it up for you?
If you want to pull up the tweets, I've made it so that everything is screenshotted there, so it'll be easy to follow along. So Safe in Our World has partnered with TakeThis.org. Now, if you don't know what TakeThis.org is, they are the people that did the Responding to Gamergate 2 article that came out a few days ago, calling the whole Sweet Baby incident a harassment campaign against Sweet Baby. So that's what that is from. And they're funded by the Department of Homeland Security.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And so now Safe in Our World announces this partnership 2 days later. So what are they? They've essentially made a guide for how to conduct gaming industry events. So think of your PAXs, any kind of industry events, GDC, stuff like that.
Holy shit, you really did make a thread here.
I made a thread. I tried to make it easy on you, Blab. So, like I said, there was 15 pages. I spent like an hour and a half on stream with this yesterday. But the purpose of this event safety guide, now I have it on my end where I've highlighted a few things because, dear Lord.
Do you want to share your screen then?
Don't worry. This is fine. This is fine. Okay. Don't worry. People can have the extra context, but I'm just going to read out a few sentences that are important here. So the event safety guide aims to provide concrete guidance to people in the game industry on how events can be created in a safer, more inclusive manner. So this is meant to coach people that are running the gaming industry events. And they created this guide in response to the continued pervasive concerns about harassment, safety, and accessibility at game industry events across the globe. As part of the effort, we've consulted with members of the industry and other advocacy groups and games. More on that later. So now, if we talk about the next page, page 2, which is the next tweet there, they start off with a very basic, like, this is how you should plan your event. So who are the events for example? And of course, they have to do the usual women virtue signaling, the women-only events. And so they say, if you are hosting an event for women, are you taking steps to foreground their needs? Will the inclusion of men make the event feel less safe or accessible to them? Can women handle men being at their events?
But what if they identify as non-binary, then they're women?
Well, and we'll get to that later, but there is a whole blurb on pronouns. But it just I have to say the absolute state of you have a gaming industry thing, which, you know what, gaming is predominantly male and there's no problem with that. And you're saying like, oh, make an event for women only. And, oh, should you invite men? Is that too scary for the women? They can't handle a few male gamers. Like, it's baffling to me that they're even saying this at all. And so now we get into more of it. The next tweet there anyways, there's a point about alcohol in there. I might have put it in the previous tweet, but essentially they go on a nanny state rant about how alcohol at events can create problems, that there's a lot of sexual assaults that will possibly occur because gamers are drinking. And there's been a lot of events where people are drugged or spiked. And so there's this huge rant that they do pretty much saying, make sure that you make it so that there is alcohol maybe if you want, but try to focus so it's not alcohol. And if you do, make sure there's a billion options for people that don't drink alcohol. It's just this thing of treating us all
the irony is that a lot of these people are going to be staying in a hotel. They're going to have penthouse parties. I've been to many conventions, and that's where it all happens. It doesn't happen on the floor. And the sad thing about it is they say, we can't have alcohol on the event floor. Well, ironically, you would be able to see people having issues or potentially being targeted in a larger group than when they all retreat back to whatever little party or after hours, after event they're going to. And then at that point, they're all going to be thirsty and wanting to relax and kick back. So it's funny that they're trying to have that nanny hand on things, but I see it going the other way. I see it not being a deterrent that they think it is.
Yeah, it's not going to deter anyone.
I love the part where they're like, if you're worried about looking cheap, instead of serving alcohol, why don't you just donate to a lovely corporation?
Yes.
What was it, Kay?
So this is the thing. Take This has helped write this article, okay? And so they're saying, instead of having all of this alcohol at the event, why don't you reduce the size of alcohol? And then you can donate the extra money to other causes. Now, remember, again, Take This is the one writing the articles about responding to Gamergate 2, pretty much calling this a harassment movement for criticizing Sweet Baby. They have their own things that they're advocating for. These are absolutely people that would want funding for these kinds of things. And we'll get to it at the end, but there are certain people involved in this that they are advocates of specific things that are against gamers, and they're going to be pushing that. So it's just the absolute state. But let's continue, because like I said, it's a long one and I really want to make it short. If you want to come in,
I got 20 other tabs open about babying.
So I'm gonna speed run the rest. If you want to see a bigger breakdown, you can read that tweet later, guys, or you can see my video, an hour on it. But essentially they start talking about sharing pronouns, and so they just have this whole thing about people won't feel safe unless they're able to share their pronouns, which we don't have to browbeat that too much.
Do we need to do that here? Do we need a safe space? True Pop, do you need to tell us your pronouns, little baby boy?
No.
What's your pronouns? True/pop?
We need
7?
to find the true pop pronouns.
True/prop 7.
I thought it
Maybe
was
it's
Madam/Web.
There you go. There you go.
All right, let's go back to this.
But yeah, they just do the usual, like, make sure that you have pronoun badges so that people feel safe. These are the pronouns that people usually use: he, him, his, she, her, hers, they, them, theirs, but you should also have blank ones. And then I learned a new word yesterday called neopronouns. I had no idea what the fuck that meant. Apparently, that's just pronouns that are not in the usual classified he, she, they. So like any other pronoun that is made up essentially is a neopronoun. So the more you know. And so, yeah, then they keep going on and they start going into this. This is where it gets interesting to me, talking about identity confirmed guest lists. Okay. And so now they're saying, even if people want to attend at the last minute and you want to welcome them in, it's important to have everyone's name and identity confirmed and on a list that can be referred back to. And at the very bottom, the last sentence, it says, anonymity and unwelcome guests detract significantly from safety and security. So they are afraid of anonymous people. Why? Because on Twitter, there's a lot of anonymous dialogue because people don't want their face out there necessarily when people are acting crazy. And so you'll have a lot of critics who are anonymous, and I don't blame them. And so, yeah, they want to make a huge point of make sure you know every single person at this event. Why does it matter? Why do you need the full name and everything of every attendee at a gaming event? Yeah. It's not relevant. So going on forward, we get into page 7, and this is where they finally make it clear why they're actually writing this article to begin with. It is the first mention of GDC. As we know, GDC is happening in a few days, and there are quite a few people that are being currently targeted that are going to be there. And so the first sentence I find this out, it says consent is not a static thing. This is a whole like usual virtual signal on what consent is. Consent is as important when going out to a party at GDC with friends as it is in the bedroom or on a street corner. So they finally show their hand on page 7, which who's actually reading through all this shit? I don't know why I did, but I was on an autism
Thank
run.
Thank you for your service.
Yeah. And so I found this. I'm like, oh, that's why. So they're clearly worried because, of course, there are panelists that are getting criticized online. And so they want to push this out right before this event. On to the next thing here, talking about addressing discriminatory or exclusionary language. The main point here is saying, have attendees agree not to use language, norms, and behaviors that inadvertently or intentionally exclude or cause harm of any kind to attendees or potential attendees.
Hold on there. Doesn't forcing the hand on pronouns do that? And look, if people want to have their pronouns
feel like
on,
harassment,
whatever. But when I'm talking to any of you, I'm never going to say she or him. I'm just going to say Blabs, James, K, True Pop.
Yeah.
Why are we I fail to understand the overcorrecting on this. When you're having a one-on-one conversation with somebody, having their name is sufficient, and that's what sparks a conversation. I can say, oh, hey, True Pop, nice to meet you. How are you? And then as we're talking, you'll give me enough information on how to refer to you moving forward. Like you'll say, oh, my name is actually blank. You can call me that, or
True as Pop.
Right. When I go to gaming conventions or when I go to any comic convention, I write, when I go to TFCon, I write Extrazero on my badge, and that's how people know me. And then if we have those conversations, great, because people in the Transformer spaces don't know me by my first name, and I prefer to keep it that way. So I just think all this is inherently creating division, and it's, you're going to have people that are separated because you're going to have the pronoun people going, oh, they don't have their pronouns on their badge, and the people that are opposed to pronouns. And I've fallen into that camp. I'm probably not going to want to talk to those sort of people. So,
well, they also make a point in the section. I didn't screenshot it because they just rant on and on, but they did make a point that some people also might not feel comfortable sharing their pronouns. So you shouldn't call out those people either. So really, this is all about policing language and policing the conversation completely. And that's my point with this part, especially. Yes, the pronouns are a part of it, but I do think it's just the idea that they want to completely coach the language that's at these events. And you can't even have them because in their opinion, even a mildly dissenting opinion becomes a problem. And that's what my concern is here, is that these are the people that are involved or that are trying to coach people to make gaming events different now. We've already seen them be chipped away for so long, and now they're doing even more guidelines for this is how you should run gaming events. But yeah, I do agree with you on it's all silly. But I want to get to this part here about defining harassment. And so they say you can use the description on page 3 of Takes, this social media page. So of course I looked into what does that say? And so on that, they specifically just go on this whole thing about like, oh yeah, it's gaslighting. No, but that's fine. It should be, yeah. So they go on this whole thing about pretty much harassment is defined as a direct physical threat, blah, blah, blah. You know, don't gaslight people, whatever, right? And then they explain that if you're defending somebody who is being harassed, that's not harassment. Telling someone to leave you alone is not harassment, whatever. What I found interesting is at the very, very, very bottom of this page, they say specific suggestions for reacting to online harassment may be found via Crash Override. Now, there are a lot of people out there who probably do know what Crash Override is, but in case you don't know, Crash Override was founded by none other than Five Guys Burgers and Fries, Zoe Quinn, back in the day, back in January of
We're circling back like
2015.
Jen Psaki.
Exactly. And the whole point of Crash Override was a bunch of victims of harassment online getting together and creating resources for each other and talking about, like, it's like a big therapy session essentially. And so that was the whole point of that website. But Zoe Quinn was the one that created that website. She no longer runs it herself. I believe they even closed. There was like a hotline at some point where you could like call in or type in and talk to them. But it is fully closed apparently, and the torch has been passed. Although Take This is still active and is also mentioning this as a way to combat this harassment that's going on. It's also interesting to note that Feminist Frequency was the one that funded this back in the day. And just as a final note, Feminist Frequency is one of the thank yous on this 15-page document that was created 2 days ago. So it wasn't Anita Sarkeesian, it was Jay Lynn from Feminist Frequency, and also there's a few other people, but in particular I noticed the women in games stuff. So these are consultants that they had on this 15-pager of how to coach gaming events, your PAXs, your GDCs, any gaming event whatsoever.
Somehow Feminist Frequency returned.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Okay, that's a lot.
Absolute state. Yeah,
well,
absolute state.
Let me see if there was more I had on this. Yeah, so right here, to continue off on like what you were saying, Homeland Security. They think gamers are violent extremists.
Now they sound like Matt Walsh.
Yeah. So yeah, just if you play a video game, you're an extremist now. I hope you understand that. That is what we're doing now.
I'm really worried about all of our federal agents that are assigned to us. Like, I know mine has to watch me dance shirtless all the time and see all the memes Extra makes of me. So I feel bad, let's keep bullying our federal agents that we got assigned, folks. I'm sure Side Scrollers has plenty.
Yes. So speaking of bullying and everything, like I said before, I have to use my own Twitter account because I tweeted this out in Side Scrollers this morning. She blocked us over there. Wah, wah, wah. I gotta say, she's one scary looking lady, but anyway. So she has a whole thread, and that's why I want to share this. And let me go here. And look at this freaking thread that she made. It's a lot. So she says, if you aren't sure this is a harassment campaign, just take a look at the content. Look how many sock puppet accounts flock to comments on posts. Look at the language in those comments. Look at the images they're sharing, the way they're manipulating pictures of women. Look at how when men do speak out, and there aren't enough, I fucking see you, she says, how less intense their comments are, how little those comments focus on the way they look, how their faces aren't shoved back at them to mock. Now, mind you, she is the Kotaku author, so that's why she's related to all this.
Hey, real quick, Mark just put a fun fact in here in the chat.
Fun fact, when Anita Sarkeesian bankrupted FF, she ran away to Europe for an art auction while Caroline Petit had to get a job bagging groceries.
Paper or plastic?
Okay.
Get away from Europe. We don't want to hear.
Nah. And then she continues and says, look at how they treat people of color, creators, writers, and developers. Look at the messages they've been getting, the way these people speak about them. Do you think it's a harassment campaign? Yes. Look at how they justify their behavior, claiming that requests to take down a hateful page is harassment, but it's worthy of threats, of slurs, of dogpiling. Look at how they try to spin, distort, play the victim. Look at how they parrot the same points. It's textbook.
Alyssa, you keep talking, but there's
projection.
no proof.
Yeah,
I like this one. Projection. I'm a victim. Attention.
She keeps saying, look, but she's not posting any evidence, like, ever.
Right.
Like, there's just saying, look at all this harassment, especially of women, especially of minorities, but there isn't any.
On top of that, I've seen in their threads and in the people defending it, I've seen what I view as sock puppet accounts. I've seen image manipulation of Kabrutus and anybody that's been vocal about, support of this group. I mean, there's constant harassment campaigns about people that are critical of things going on in this space, and it's ridiculous. And all I see is projection.
Well, here's some more projection here. So, Alyssa Mercante got community notes. And this person, Max Kennerly, whoever the hell he is saying, look at these baloney community notes. It's just pathetic. Where they're saying there is no evidence of organized harassment campaign by the SBI detected curator or their followers. A single user made a curator on Steam and Sweet Baby Inc. harassed the creator of SBI detected, and Melissa Mercante and other journalists misrepresented those facts. So that's community notes on Twitter, and this guy's like, "Oh, it's pathetic." Well, it's just the truth.
You should pay attention to who Max Kennerly is, because he is a lawyer, and I think he runs a law firm in Pennsylvania. So I'm curious. He's connected to litigationtrial.com. So I wonder if he's like kind of ambulance chasing here.
Maybe. But I just love how his response like accidentally owns himself, and he's just like, look at these community notes that prove that there's no harassment going on. Absolutely pathetic. And it's like, you just owned your own side. What a great lawyer.
Now, Extrazero, you sent me this thread yesterday. Trans kids are not a threat. Leave them alone at legal minimum. Now, this guy is a Detective Pikachu producer and CLO.
Well, he's also a former Bungie dev.
Yes, he's ex-Bungie.
Yeah.
So he makes a thread off of the thread that we just read of Alyssa. This is why I'm saying I had like a million tabs, guys, because it's just like everything. So he says thread. Oh, yeah. He says 20 years in game, 17 in the C-suit, so I'm well situated to say these people blaming one consultancy for everything they don't like are again demonstrating they know nothing about the subject they purport to be discussing. They are sexist and racist. And here's the thing. You can say that, yeah, SBI is not the cause of everything going on that's wrong in the gaming industry. It's not. And everyone who says it is, I'm sorry, you're wrong, you're misled. There's a whole bunch of other things going on. But we can talk about it and we can pinpoint saying, hey, SBI is wrong. Here's why. And if they go out, then all the developers will be like, oh, look, it's gone. Problem solved. But the problems will continue. Let's just be real. So he says, it never occurs to them that the reason nobody's made games for them was because nobody wanted to make those kinds of games. Nobody wants your money because no one wants you in their environment. Take it from someone most of whose job was figuring out ways to get rid of you. So that's nice.
Let's get rid of the gamers, the people who fund our products. This makes so much sense. It's not for you guys.
And they're not getting the message that gamers are rejecting when they have things that focus more on messaging than games, and I'd argue story than gameplay. But primarily when messaging is up here and gameplay is down here, gamers are literally not buying their product. Why can they not see that? And how come all of these people that are very vocal, they're not, where's their dialogue about gameplay? Where's their dialogue about what makes a game fun? And, I get that we're arguing the culture here, and somebody will say, well, you're obviously talking about them and not games right now. But I legitimately want to know, like, where do they ever talk about it? Because on shows that I'm on, I like to talk about gameplay and what I love about games and what I love about gameplay. And I don't see any of that coming from any of these people. They just want to talk about story, representation, this, that, and the other, but never the actual game.
Fun
Correct.
is a bad word to them. Gameplay is a bad word to them. All they care
This
about
should
is
just be
representation.
instructive
Right.
on how to be a better human being.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, even the accessibility argument, right? I'm blind in an eye. I can't see things in 3D. I have issues with depth perception. I'm all over the place. If I ever move my head like Stevie Wonder, that's why I'm thankful I have tracking in the eye, so you don't see it going off. But whenever they're talking about accessibility, and I have friends that are colorblind, I have friends with neuropathy. Look, I get it, but those people, I mean, handy-capable Sean doesn't want to play walking simulators. So it's, yeah. And I'm not saying that in a remark of like, well, the man can't walk and he doesn't want to play well. No, he wants to play regular games like everybody else. He enjoys gameplay. All they want when it comes to accessibility is we want to find a way to digest a story, and we don't want to actually have to put any. Why not just watch a Let's Play? You guys already don't like to spend money as it is. Just go on fucking Twitch or YouTube and watch a goddamn Let's Play. If you don't have the skill, but you want to enjoy a story, there's a vehicle for that, and it's fucking free.
So let me keep going with this massive thread. And he says it never occurs to them to what the reason nobody made games for them was because nobody wanted to make those kinds of games. Nobody wants your money because no one wants you in their environment. Take it from someone whose job was figuring out ways to get rid of you, which we said before. Trust and safety departments exist to get assholes out of the gaming environment. You end up creating them to get rid of assholes because adult humans don't want to spend their leisure time with assholes. You're a gamer gator? Fuck off, you goddamn child. Nobody wants your money. Go spend it on anime corn.
We don't want your money is the biggest lie ever. That's the whole point of creating the damn
it's
game.
It's the whole point of the business.
That's the whole point of a business. You don't understand business 101. You're all activists and you're all stupid, and we see it and we point and we laugh. So continue to point these people out, because dear God, I will not touch anything that this man touches. Seems like he's actually out of the gaming industry now, and now he's doing entertainment lawyer stuff.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, it's just the absolute state of saying the biggest lie, which is that it's not about the money, when it absolutely is. You want to keep your customers happy. You want to make money so you can make more games.
Right.
Common sense.
So let's keep continuing, because there's a lot in this thread. He says, by the way, if you're fucking crying about the fact that I'm telling you to eat shit, think about why you're such a person that the producer of Detective Pikachu thinks you are human garbage, and maybe work on being less shitty. So like apparently his morals, being Detective Pikachu producer and all that is,
I made a Pokemon movie, therefore I'm right and you're wrong.
That's literally what he's trying to justify. It's like, cope more, bro. You complain about bubbles, but you're living in the biggest one. You dorks sit around self-reinforcing that you're somehow not human garbage. Get your moms to give you more allowance and buy a Clue. I have to say, I'm almost impressed with the one person who quote tweeted the original tweet and also screenshot it in case I blocked him, so he could have forever proof that he's a dork and no one intelligent agrees with him. I mean, I still blocked him because dork. I mean, fuck what I know about making games. He links himself because self-morals. And then he says, what's the old rule about not showing tolerance to people who are themselves intolerant? That one. That's why what you see in this thread in my response is, no, I'm not interested in a debate. No, I don't care if you think I'm a bully. Get back in your fucking lockers. This thread is giving me my block finger a good workout, and then he says he doesn't want to hear the truth, etc. Sure, Dirk, what you believe isn't true. What people aren't allowed to disagree, have at it, champ. I just don't care about your opinion, etc. And does he keep going? No, he finally finished and just says, go ask your mom for some money to buy a plate more anime corn, because that is the great meme. I don't know, right?
A lot.
Like, this is the most unhinged rant I've seen.
It's like, why do you not care about somebody else's opinion? Like, it's like, again, these are the people that bitched about gatekeeping forever. And the whole thing was, when it was on the other side, people wanted to change hearts and minds. Like, look, why do you think this way? Why do you feel this way? Can we find, at the end of the day, we all love video games, or at least we say we all love video games, and saying that about them, because, again, they love everything about video games but the actual game itself. So it's like, why can't we get on the same page for something we all have a common interest in, and try and talk through it and find out, okay, where do we agree, where do we disagree, and why is that such a it's like oil and water with these people.
Yeah, no,
I have a meme.
Oh, perfect.
Halo Master Chief Sweet Baby Ink Edition.
Did you just
is that Deborah Wilson?
Episode?
That was made by the Bugle Daily.
Yeah.
I understand.
That looked like Deborah Wilson. He should have made it Deborah Wilson.
True. And we have more, right? So we've all had other bullshit of all these people making threads, but now we also have Black Girl Gamers have now entered the chat because Black Girl Gamers says the amount of harassment that we've had recently due to this Gamergate 2 is not surprising. Gamers have thought the industry revolved around them and their comforts are not realizing it doesn't. We've had emails, comments, and threats, but you know what? We're not going anywhere.
So are they openly admitting they're not gamers?
Yeah, that's my question, because then my response to them was, let me share this one. It says, where are the white girl gamers, and why do we even need a race girl gamers account in the first place? And it's true. Why do we need that? What does it matter what color skin you are? It just, this is where we're at.
More of pushing my harassment, and we're getting threats and all that stuff with zero proof. Like, I'm pretty sure if you're actually getting harassed and everything, you're not going to go girl boss it on Twitter and post like these gifs from out of date sitcoms and everything. So like, if there was actual harassment, they would be posting it, but no, they just want to keep pushing that narrative.
This should add fuel to my theory that this stuff is intentionally divisive, because gaming and being a fan of film and music and sports, those all used to be unifying things. And it's a relatively new phenomenon that all of these things, all at the same time, even now down to what we choose to eat and drink and where we shop, is starting to become divisive. And I think it's by design. And I think, again, my theory is maybe a little bit different than others. I don't think this is a Gamergate 2, because I think this extends beyond gaming, and I'll keep saying that. But the fact is, why isn't anybody looking at why things that used to be unifying have now suddenly been turned divisive, and how do we fix that, and how do we stop bad actors in the spaces? Because again, there shouldn't be anybody saying, I'm going to gender or racially segregate areas of gaming. It shouldn't be that way. And Brad DL in commies, I think it very much comes down to people wanting to do like what Yuri Bezmenov described as the stages of demoralization, so they can divide and conquer us. And I think that they intend to conquer industry and take ownership of it, devaluing it and pitting us against each other, so we don't notice in the process that they're doing all of this.
Mm-hmm. Well, okay, I got more links, right? I'm like the queen of links today. So we have Cici Jiang, who is a they, them, YouTube stuff, occasional hoyo, whatever the hell, I don't even know. But she's like, I need everyone to hold fast to the fact that the vast majority of players want women, marginalized people in games, and that the ones who don't are very, very small, yet loud drop in the ocean. The trolls are losers, literally, and we win by starving them of oxygen. Now, here's Epic Mike's response. He was on the show yesterday. He says, newsflash, asshole! There have been women and marginalized people in gaming since the beginning. But the phenomena of people inserting what they think are accurate reflections of our modern world are relatively new. The fact is you are in the minority. Gamers just want to have fun. They will have no interest in being preached at inside or outside of gaming. Yet here we are watching IP after IP suffering quality in favor of inserting soulless, half-hearted gestures to a small crowd screaming they need to be validated. If you ask gamers what the biggest issue in gaming is, most of them would say broken, buggy games and heavily invasive microtransactions, not better representation and diversity. And he's right. Oh yeah, there's more, and there's more shit. Anything to say on that before I keep going to the million other links?
It's all projection, saying like, oh, it's the minority of people that don't want it. Like, they're just talking about themselves at this point. So I feel like I'm beating a dead horse. They sound stupid. I always advocate for point and laugh. True. Point and laugh. You're going to say stupid stuff online, I'm going to point and laugh at you.
They're just out of touch with the standard gamer. That's it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all about their own ideas.
Now, I think there was another freaking quote reply from Mike, but I can't seem to find it. So we have this other schmuck right here. Let's see, am I on the right page? Yes. Okay. So this guy is named Joe Tirado, and he's a creative lead on Astroneer game at CESDEV, which I've never even heard of CESDEV. Have you guys heard of that?
No.
No, I didn't think so.
What? I'll look it up, I guess.
What is this place? All right, hang on. System of Era Software, official Softworks, official Twitter account for Seattle-based game developer System Era Softworks. Huh? Who the hell are you?
Seattle?
Working on a game called Astroneer.
Anyway.
All right. I'm sure it'll be great, right?
Yeah. I'm sure it'll be fantastic.
Interestingly, this game's been in development since 2015.
What?
Yeah.
So kind of like the
Alrighty
Wonder
then.
Woman game as well.
Yeah.
And
So
bunch of
this
others.
this Joe guy says, as a person who advocates for diversity in games, this whole thing is laughable. We have exactly one female protagonist in the top 25 best-selling games of the last 3 years. That list also includes one Latino. That's not forced diversity. There is no diversity at all. It sucks because a diverse group of overworked and exploited workers are fighting for any crumbs of representation in games. The worst internet people are trying to convince everyone that like 3 brown side characters are a big conspiracy. To all the weirdos who don't know replying to this, trying to have bait, have fun talking to yourselves, he says.
But like, look at the language. One female protagonist in the top 25 best-selling games. That is proof that there is forced diversity. It's just that it's not selling. So they keep forcing it, but then gamers are rejecting their entire agenda and everything and saying we're actually going to go play good games where there isn't this message. So
Let's break this down though. Like, diversity is different ideas, different ways of thinking, morals, and all that. So it doesn't even matter what this person is, like a Latina or not. Everybody actually is diverse. Mm-hmm. Everyone here, even though, we're all diverse. Everyone in the chat is not the same. So this whole bullshit of, there is no diversity. Yes, there is. You're looking right at it. There is only one version of you in the entire universe. Hello. So I just...
That was honestly inspiring. I have to go do something great today after hearing that. There's only one of you in the universe.
There really is, though. So I don't understand this whole lack of diversity. I'm like, there's only one version of you. Sure, you might have a doppelganger in like freaking Guam or like Pennsylvania or whatever it is, China, but
well, not to mention all of us have had very different walks in life, and that's the thing is I think the thing is they want diversity of appearance and heritage, but never diversity of thought. They want you to have the same mindset. And when they say diversity is their strength, they can never really define that. Well, how is diversity our strength? I've always seen diversity as it's diversity of thought. It's diversity of you come from a different walk of life, so you have different perspective. It's not just that you look different. And to most people, I just look like a white guy. People don't really know what my heritage is, and then my first name muddles it because then people think that I'm Jewish. I'm not. But I've had a different life experience than most everybody. And because of that, I think I bring a unique perspective, just as any of you, I think would have a unique perspective, whether you grew up rich, poor, in the middle. That's what we should be focused on, not do we think the same and do we look different?
Exactly my whole entire point. So those are all the million links that I have. True Pop, did you have something?
They only talk about diversity because they want to look good, basically.
Right.
That's all they ever want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right.
I think an important thing to point out is that like these people are screaming and yelling at the high heavens right now, and let them make that mistake. Like, don't block them, screenshot everything, archive everything, because guess what? If this is Gamergate 2 or whatever you want to call it that's happening now, these people are eventually going to go silent. They're going to go dark, and they're going to have everyone blocked and protected. When they do that, we can't lose focus on them, because that's when they start wiggling their way into corporations and literally governments.
They already have. They already have.
And they're just going to keep doing it more and more and more. So definitely, if you want to treat this as like, a big op, like keep focusing on them. When they go silent, that just means that they're actually going to work. They're screaming right now because we have them pissed off because of how much of a spotlight we're putting on them. Don't let that spotlight go away.
But don't harass them either, because it won't work that way either. And honestly, as James says, screenshot everything, because then you have the receipts later on. I mean, let's look at Gina Carano. Yeah. She took all the evidence of all the harassment that she was getting and all the examples, and she's got like a whole binder full of receipts now. So does J.K. Rowling. So it's like, these people are gonna win, and
they
they're
will literally
lie
to your face. They will lie and say that black is white and everything is completely upside down. So archive.is,
binders, guys.
Not only are they deleting it, but if you go to Reddit, and Reddit's as cesspool as it is, I shared with Blabs somebody, because I think Dermy put this on my radar, where someone on the Asmon Gold Reddit page posted, "Hey, here's all the companies that are getting funded." And then the Reddit mods, with no explanation, deleted the thread with all.
So archive.is is a great tool, folks.
When you see it, save it.
Yeah. Let me get to all these super chats, unless you guys have something else to say about SBI.
I'm just going to echo what James said. It's really, really important. So I know people screenshot, and that's great, and keep doing it, but sometimes they'll claim you're photoshopping it. Make sure, like James said, use archive.is. We used to do that a lot back in the day. You don't have to worry about them pulling their sites down and stuff, because you can also use the Wayback Machine to go and look at their actual website. So for Twitter, all that stuff, use archive.is. Same with their websites. And if their websites go down at any point, use the Wayback Machine. You can go and see the history and see how they've changed their websites. It's really important. Screenshots are important too, but they'll always try to claim like, oh yeah, you Photoshop this. It's going to happen eventually.
They'll lie right to your face about it every single time.
And the thing is, like, these people say stupid stuff all the time. You gotta let them have enough rope so they can hang themselves. Keep taking those receipts.
All right, so let me get to some Rumble rants first. So, dude says Matt Walsh complaining about the woke in gaming is like a gay man complaining about breast implants. He attacks gaming and anime every chance he gets. That's why I unsubbed from the Daily Wire after the TOTP. What is TOTP?
I never watched Daily Wire, so I'm not even sure. I'm a water filter appreciator. So.
Was it Terror on the Prairie? Is that what that is?
Yeah,
that
Terror on the Prairie
was
that.
I didn't watch it.
I unsubbed from it for different reasons. I saw somebody talking about Candace changing, and I still want to remind people that while Candace changed, and regardless what you think about Steven Crowder, love him, hate him, doesn't matter. The moment that she was able to strike on his personal life, she did, and she didn't care about putting the leaked ring footage out there of his wife, he and his now ex-wife arguing. So Candace may be on a different political side now, but I do think that some people don't change their tendencies, and regardless of whether she's on the left or the right, I don't think that stuff's cool, and I have zero respect for her because of that.
All right. Dude says hentai has better storylines than modern Western entertainment. Where else can I guess? A succubus being asked to play support in a game, or a plant girl finding a way to show her affection to a human guy. Anyway,
just like that thread. Oh, you want us to suspend money on anime porn? All right, guess I will. No money for you. All the money for the titties.
He kept mentioning that. Check his hard drives. He kept insulting people with anime corn. I'm just like, why are you referencing it so much?
Epsilona says Walsh is millennial, so acting like video games are for kids comes off as incredibly grifty as heck and trying to pander to a boomer audience.
Wasn't he also playing Mario Kart with Tim Pool?
Was he? I don't pay attention to any of these people.
Matt Walsh is like the Obama meme. I tweeted that with giving himself the medal.
This is the only Obama meme that counts.
Dick. Yeah, that's a great one.
Yeah, he did play Mario Kart with Tim Pool, Ben Shapiro, and Michael Knowles.
Right, Mo says Carolyn don't need no bone growing up potion. Oh my. Heesal says I'm 47 gamer. I have all my hair and I'm a sexy devil.
Ooh,
good for you. All right. Nissan, I thought segregation was abolished. Yes, it is illegal to act the way these people are, and not hire. Yeah.
It's not racist when we do it.
Jeremy says, Blabs, don't you feel bad about getting blocked by Kotaku Bint? I was also blocked, but I'm not. Damn it. Granted, I did call her the C word. Well, that'll do it.
I may have sent her a photo of a cat and asked what her relationship is like with her father, and she blocked me. So I'm just saying.
Anyway, Cesario says, funny how all these SJWs are incestuously connected, like a really bad inbred family treatment. And holy shit, Retro Meister came in with two $50 super chats. So holy shit. Like, we need all the 50s in the chat right now. Retro, thank you. He says, morning, scrollers. Blabs, you're doing a great job on your own with the help of others. Thank you. I made a video years ago about covering the issues of Lola Bunny's redesign for Space Jam 2, along with other female and male characters that are victims of sexism and culture.
Thank you for addressing the problem. They bastardized my bunny wife. I
know. Lola Bunny was cute, man. And they just made her like a frumpy, derpy little thing.
She almost made me a furry. I was this close, and they disrespected her.
You tell me this now, after meme time. The ship has sailed.
I give you all the content extra.
I know.
And he continues saying, I make the case with Lara Croft and Mortal Kombat women that all of this Gamergate activist bullshit has ruined what were once strong, feminine, badass characters into being nothing more than feminist bullhorns involving Gamergate, aka Divide and Conquer. Thank you, Retchemeister, for
You have
that
the best
lovely
taste.
donation.
Mortal Kombat 9, best character design ever.
Shout out, Retchemeister. We need lots of love in the chat. By the way, if you have not smashed the like button, do it! Thank you. Okay. Bigger video says the largest minority.
I'm stealing that.
What?
I'm stealing that statement. The largest minority is the individual.
Oh, I thought you were trying to say do it. I'm like, I stole it from Palpatine. Anyway, the largest minority is the individual. All right. Did my caught up? Let me check everybody. Okay. Yeah. Let's see this. These hands says, remember, you don't hate journalists enough. You think you do, but you don't. Correct. And I
Early and often.
Preach.
Shiny King says, friendly reminder that it was Anita who got on stage and called Sargon a garbage human back in the day, then went off and bullied Boogie backstage.
Yeah, that was at
Nice.
VidCon. That was before Boogie became what he is now. That was when Boogie was still like big into gaming and
Yeah.
All right, I see.
Look
I'm
at
on
her.
the Size
She's
Pros
having-
account now, and there's like a shit ton of memes. So let me just make sure I didn't get anyone. All right. So the first thing, I do have to show this off. This was tweeted to us yesterday from Christian. He got his T-shirt, and it looks pretty cool.
Look.
So there it is.
Extra's got it too right there.
Yeah. Oh wait, hang on a second. Show that off. Look at it.
Look at it.
Look at
Oh
it.
my god.
Look at it.
I'm kind of like what was it on South Park? Faith Hilling? When you doing that?
Oh yeah, the face.
The boobies. We also have Resident Evil, never go full retard, and then I don't know, the discount Gorlock. So that's cool.
I'd play that. I'd play that mod.
Given that they're running to Big Daddy government to protect them, basically, me being executed in 2024 for refusing to buy a game that Sweet Baby Inc. worked on.
And Cloud never got to have Chick-fil-A.
No.
Shout out to Bubba Blabs, thank you.
Cloud.
This was the pool at Extrazero's house. Dermy is the pool boy. That's fine.
I wish the pool was usable at this point. It's still March, so
This was my morning. Yeah, Extrazero, you missed my whole rant this morning when we did it. Retards fighting. Yeah, I literally did the whole thing. And I think here we go. You went full Bear Force 1. Never go full Bear Force 1.
Never do it. We even hit Bear Force 2.
I gotta say, I'm a really, really nice looking, like, black Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah,
I said it. I said it. I said it. Yeah. And I think we're all caught up. Is there anything else I need to do? No, that's good. Okay, guys. I think we got it. We did it. Yeah.
We did it. We did it,
All
Blab.
right. True pop culture. What do you got going on?
Yeah, you can check my channel out, True Pop Culture 7, for funny live stream edits and animations. I am 11 subscribers away from reaching 2K, so very close indeed. Subscribe and link below, people.
Yeah. All of our links, by the way, are in the description below. You'll find the guests at the very top, and then like everyone else like me at the very bottom. All right, Extrazero, what do you got going on?
Well, I'll be back here tomorrow. I'll be on time tomorrow. I'll be able to
No pool boys.
be here for the full show, and then you can catch us on the True Pop and I on the Legion of Memers meme stream on Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern. We got a great guest lined up, a community member that you've probably seen in the chat many, many times. So looking forward to having that conversation. Yeah, if you want to, give me a follow over on Twitter. If you like memes, I post a lot over there at Extrazero08. I'd appreciate it. And tonight I have figure action. So if you're into collecting, be it Transformers or any other action figure lines, we're talking about it. There's a lot going on in the industry, a lot of news coming out. We just had TFCon LA. We're going to be talking all about that and the Hasbro events. Today was also the last day for their crowdfunding for the Omega Prime. Going to be looking at that. So if you're interested in that, head over to the Figure Action Podcast YouTube channel. Check us out. If you like what we're doing, give us a sub. Appreciate it.
All right, Melee, James, and Kay, what you guys got going on?
Hey, folks. Together we are Melee Games, and we talk all things gaming. Well, tonight we're going to be live with the Melee Madness podcast around 7 p.m. PST, and we're going to be deep diving once again into the absolute state of the industry and this insanity. And also, we're going to return to some fun with gaming, and we're going to focus on some positive gaming news so we can, all have fun together. Tomorrow, we're going to be playing Mario Maker, me and Kay together, and you can actually send us your Mario Maker levels over in our Discord. So we're going to play the levels made by you. And of course, this Sunday is Steam Roulette, where I go absolutely crazy playing. I love Steam Roulette. Thank you. Oh my God, it's nonstop spinning here, folks. Playing all sorts of Steam games.
And as for me, you guys can find me here, obviously Monday through Friday, and you can find me on my YouTube. I'm really close to 2K, which is fun. And I'm not even monetized still, so that's fun too. Other than that, you can also find me on Kick. And tomorrow we'll be back with Extrazero and Melanie. All right, guys, we are all caught up with every little thing. So people are going to try to keep you down. Don't let them. You guys got to go get it. Fatality.